Hello everyone. Welcome to DGraph Day. My name is Aditya Goyal and today I'm going to talk about unstructured addresses. Not how we as humans read and understand them, but how to store and query them. With storing, I'm going to talk about the challenges and how DGraph helps in solving them. I'm a backend developer with Delivery. I have 4 years of experience with multiple backend technologies, asynchronous application, and NoSQL databases. I have been working with Delivery from past 2.5 years. Delivery is one of the largest and most profitable logistics company in India, which primarily focuses on digital commerce. It was established in May 2011. Its first two centers were in Delhi and Gurgaon. From there onwards, it grew on to become a multi-million dollar company and now serves over 18,000 pin codes in 1,200 cities. It handles over 30 million orders a month and employs about 40,000 professionals. Recently, I have been working on graph databases to solve a few complex problems. One of them is going to be discussed in this talk. Apart from this, I'm also working as a data engineer and exploring big data technologies such as Spark. Before moving on to the core problems we faced, want to make you guys familiar with the kind of data we were dealing with and the scale of it. The data is of unstructured addresses. Since delivery is into logistics business, we need to deal with a lot of addresses. Those addresses can be of a customer, warehouse, shop, etc. And we need to predict some information such as its geo coordinates as soon as the address comes into the delivery system. Previously, we were storing this data and metadata in a MongoDB database as addresses string and query based on the localities of the address. That way, we were fetching more data than required for prediction. This process was very slow due to the size of the data being fetched. We changed the approach and instead of storing complete address, we moved to store n-grams of an address and its metadata. Now, why do we want to store it? We wanted to query the metadata for a new address coming in based on its n-grams and predict some information based on historical data. Just to give you an idea of the size of the data, we had almost 500 million nodes and more than a billion edges. As you can see in the sample graph, we are storing n-grams and have an hierarchy which is connecting in higher to lower geographical area. Let's start with the problem we faced while designing a system to support the requirement and try to find the solution of each one of them. Since a lot of customers place orders on e-commerce, the rate of addresses coming into the system is very high. So the first problem was to import data of a new addresses which were coming in very rapidly in the system. And the database or model needed to load all of it while serving the queries of production with minimal impact on performance. Since the database is responsible to predict some crucial information for new addresses coming in, this needs to perform live loading with minimal impact on query performance. Otherwise, we would not be able to predict any information. The third problem was to store and query geospatial data. Since we were dealing with geo coordinates of addresses, we needed to store and query based on latitude and longitude. The fourth challenge was the query we wanted to execute. This was a recursive query of more than 50 hops on average and may reach as high as 150 hops. Here, one hop query is equivalent to getting all connected nodes of a list of nodes. I'm putting a sample query here for more understanding. We also require to store data on edges. So before discussing the solution, I'm going to present the points which became the deciding factor behind choosing between dgraph, Neo4j, ArengoDB, and Amazon Neptune. Few factors which played a major role in decision making were availability. The database needed to support queries 24/7, scalability. Given the size of the data and its unbounded nature, the cluster needs to scale horizontally as well as vertically to utilize the available resources. Synchronous. The data should be in sync between multiple read replicas and distributed. This is to support huge data size. Since there would be more queries in dense localities, we needed to support of caching to execute the following queries faster. As we talked earlier, the database needs to support queries on latitude and longitude. We needed, okay, high hop. We needed to execute high hop count queries in order to predict geo coordinates of a new address. This query is supposed to fetch all related metadata we have stored with respect to the new request coming in. In the evaluation process, we were monitoring the time and space utilized by this query. Given this graph is supporting transactional requests, the query execution time needed to be in sub-second latency. We needed to find relationship or connection between given n-grams. This required to execute query on reverse edges as well. Since the new address is coming into the system with high rate, the graph needs to support uptime, updation, and deletion with minimal impact on query performance. Let's discuss the solution on behalf of the evaluation process. First thing first, dgraph met the basic requirements of availability and scalability, both vertical and horizontal. Dgraph supports query caching. Dgraph also caches the nodes which have been queried recently, and that improves the query time for dense localities where more queries are being executed compared to sparse localities. Schema design plays most important role behind query performance. It is best practice to design all possible queries upfront and decide the graph schema based on that. Here we indexed n-grams due to queries being executed on this and created a reverse reference to support fast query execution, putting a screenshot of the schema for reference. Fourth is high hop queries. This played a major role in evaluation process and the comparative analysis between different graphs. High hop queries were being executed with excellent execution time due to reverse reference. Here, dgraph by far outplayed all of the other databases. So the dgraph journey wasn't completely flowery as well, putting some of the challenges we faced while designing our system on dgraph. The first challenge was to concurrently query on a dgraph node. Here, we were not able to execute more than 5 queries concurrently. This was a major bottleneck given the node size was very high, and this could occur a huge cost for database management. I'm going to discuss the solution in the next slide. The next challenge is to update a subgraph with different RDF file using live loading. We were using batch processing to train the model, which results in an RDF file. We needed to update the dgraph with the output RDF file, and this is not supported in dgraph to automatically delete and insert edges based on an old and new RDF file respectively. Here are the steps taken to resolve the problem. To resolve the first problem, kernel level changes enabled us to execute multiple queries at once. The max number of open files became bottleneck while deploying a large graph. The variable given in the slide can be utilized to update the value of the same, which is net.core.somexcon. Moving to the second problem we faced, to update a graph with RDF file, we needed to delete the available subgraph using the previous RDF file and their IDs, followed by importing the new RDF file. This makes the subgraph unavailable for small duration depending on the size of it. That is how we are using dgraph to solve one of our problems. Thank you for spending your time to listen my story of dgraph.